Hello and welcome back to Matt Hayes Tottenham blog and to another Premier League match preview. Today I'm going to be previewing tomorrow's crucial Premier League game against Watford at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'll be going through the team news, predicted lineups, key stats and much more ahead of this one. But before I get started, if you do want more content like this, plus interactive live streams, match reviews and breaking news videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and click the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload. So to get straight into things, I'll just quickly recap, as I said, that team news that I brought out in my video yesterday. For Tottenham, there are three confirmed absentees there: Lo Celso, Sessegnon and Lloris. Obviously no surprises there. Lo Celso picked up the hip injury over the previous international break. Sessegnon still suffering a bit with that hamstring injury that we had when we signed him. However, the two of them are back in full training, as I heard from Daniel Levy during the week. So we may get to see them featuring very soon. There's talk of Lo Celso maybe making an appearance against Red Star Belgrade on Tuesday. Sessegnon, we're not really sure. He might be playing some games with the under-23s before he is back in the first team. And as for Hugo Lloris, we won't see him until the new year with that awful looking injury he picked up against Brighton before the break. The only real surprise was Christian Eriksen. His fitness will be assessed ahead of this game. He picked up a dead leg playing for Denmark over the international break, and he'll face a late fitness test, and hopefully, despite his poor form, it's always best to have your better options there, so hopefully he can pass fit for this one. As for Watford, Troy Deeney and Isaac Success were the two absentees we were expecting from them. But Quique Sanchez-Flores told us yesterday that Etienne Capoue and Sebastian Prudl will also be missing for this game. So a big blow for Watford, a player like Capoue, who has been one of their best players in the last couple of seasons, and of course a former Spurs player as well, but he'll be missing for this one. Now to jump into my predicted lineup for this, it's the same as it has been for quite a while now with Pochettino. It's hard to predict what he's going to go with. It really is. You don't know what he's going to, what kind of formation he's going to go for, what the players he's going to pick. There's been no consistency in his choices, bar one or two that we do disagree with, Lucas being one of them. But I think he will go with that 4-3-1-2 again, with that diamond in midfield, even though it just hasn't been working for us. And I mean, there's no denying that it hasn't been the kind of change that we were expecting, that he would have been hoping for. And even some players have spoken out against it. Even Moussa Sissoko saying that in that midfield they tire a lot quicker, and you can understand it. I mean, there is more defensive midfielders in there, but all of a sudden the three in front of them is now one, and there's a lot less width in that team, and they're expected to cover a lot more ground, and you can tell why they are tiring quicker. But it just begs the question as to why Pochettino continues to go with that. But I think he will tomorrow. Paulo Gazzaniga will be starting in goals, even though Vorm was signed during the week. I think he is just there as a backup if needed. As for the back four, I hope we will see Kyle Walker-Peters returning in right back, and I think we might, because he started the season decent. He wasn't anything spectacular, but again, no one in the team was, and we've seen a lot of changes in there since he picked up that injury. We've had Serge Aurier, Moussa Sissoko and Davinson Sanchez, and they've all had their good moments, but they've had some bad moments as well. And I think it'll be better to get Kyle Walker-Peters back out there, because he, in the team at the moment, looks like one of the best options for there. And I know Juan Foyth is also potentially a future right back, and that is where Pochettino kind of sees him going forward. But I think with the form that we're in now, we need to stop that experimentation and play players in the positions they know how to play, and Kyle Walker-Peters right now is probably the best option that we have for right back. In the centre, I think it will be Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen keeping their place there. Again, despite some really, really poor recent form, I think it's just we need to kind of keep as much consistency in the starting 11 as we can. And Alderweireld and Vertonghen, they're both really, really good players. They're world-class defenders who are just suffering a bit of a blip at the moment. And with the way Pochettino has been speaking during the week, talking about trusting the players that he has, and he said before as well, he's not going to pick his 11 based on players potentially leaving in the future. So I think it will be Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen starting there. Danny Rose in left back, I think, has just been better than Davis this season. Davis hasn't really done it when he has been given his chance in the team. Now the three in midfield, I think, pick themselves once that system is being used with the three in there. It is always going to be Sissoko, Winks and Ndombele. It's a really strong midfield, and Ndombele and Winks probably been two of our best performers this season. And I think Sissoko, he's been a bit unfortunate in that he's been thrown around a lot. He's been playing in right back, of course, that midfield position. He's been playing further up on the right wing as well. So he's struggled to get a bit of consistency in his play as well. But they're probably three of our most consistent performers this season, and maybe it is just the best option to have them all in there, even if the formation isn't the best. If Eriksen is pass fit, I think he'll be playing in that one attacking midfield role behind the strikers, which will probably be Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. If Eriksen isn't pass fit, I prefer to see Lucas Moura playing in there, but I think it will be Dele Alli because whatever Pochettino has against Lucas, we don't really know what it is, but for some reason he just doesn't like picking him. So I think it would be either Eriksen or Ali playing behind the two strikers. Now, I would prefer overall to see a 4-2-3-1, as I know a lot of the fans do, because it's the formation that got us really to the stage we're at now, where we are seen as a top four team. Obviously, just got into a Champions League final. I prefer to see a back four of Kyle Walker-Peters and give Sanchez and Foyth a chance, because the players ahead of them haven't really been doing it this season. And even though I was saying you need a bit of consistency, you also need players who actually want to play there and feel as though they need to fight for their place. Because with Alderweireld and Vertonghen, it just seems to be they think no matter what they do, they will keep their position because they are the best centre-backs at our club, there's no doubt about that, but at the moment they're just not showing that, and maybe a chance for Sanchez and Foyth, given a bit of competition in the position, could get all four of them playing even better. I think Rose and left-back is the best option. I'd like to see Winkston and Ndombele playing in that too in the midfield. As I said, two of our best players this season. And then the three behind the striker, Lamela, Son and Lucas playing behind Harry Kane, is a really, really dangerous front three. Players who are on form this season, Lucas, Lamela especially, and that's just one that will really, really cause a weakened Watford defence a lot of problems. And it doesn't have those players like Eriksen and Ali who just don't seem to be playing for the badge at the moment. And I know Ali has had there's been things in the press about Dele Alli cutting all commercial activities to try and focus on improving his football again. I'm not sure how true that is. That was from, I think, the Daily Mail or something, but that needs to start in the training ground. And I just, with the way he's been this season, you can't imagine he is, giving 110% out in the training ground, as players like Lucas, Son and Lamela always do when they're on the pitch. And then of course Harry Kane up front, he can score one touch of the ball. He's a world class player, and there's no way he's going to be losing his place in this team. Now, as for the Watford probable lineup, as I said, they are a bit weakened with a few absentees for this one, but just looking across a few websites, the kind of most popular players to be starting this game, it's going to be a 5-3-2 for them. Ben Foster in goals, who's a really, really good goalkeeper. I mean, there's no denying that, but he's been struggling with this really kind of weak defence in front of him. The three centre-backs would probably be Craig Dawson, Cathcart and Kabasele. Not the strongest defence in the world. I think Kabasele maybe stands out as the better of those three, but Cathcart and Dawson have been really disappointing for Watford this season. The two wing-backs, Daryl Janmat and Jose Holebas, two really good players. In the middle of the park, Roberto Pereira, Abdoulaye Doucouré and Tom Cleverley. I think from a Watford point of view, they'd probably prefer to have Etienne Capoue in there ahead of Pereira, who's maybe more of a winger, but it's still a bit of power in that midfield with Abdoulaye Doucouré, and then Danny Welbeck playing up front with Gray, of course, Deeney and Success both out injured. So it's not the weakest lineup in the world. Like, looking at that side from Watford, it's not one that you'd expect to be in the position that they're in right now, especially considering how well they did last season. The fact that they have 3 points after 8 games this year is a massive surprise, and it does feel as though that form will turn around eventually. They haven't really had that new manager bounce since they appointed Quique Sanchez-Flores again, but it does feel as though it is coming. Hopefully it won't be this weekend, and I can't imagine it would be, because Tottenham, we need a response, and it feels like this is a great game to get that. So I don't think we should be too worried about that Watford side. Now, quickly going through a few of the Opta stats on the Sky Sports website for this game. It paints a good picture for Tottenham going into this one. They say Tottenham have won each of their last 9 top-flight home games against Watford, including all 6 in the Premier League. Their record of 6 wins from 6 home games is their best such 100% home winning record in the Premier League. So they're the team that we enjoy welcoming to North London. We always beat them, and you'd expect that to continue this weekend. Watford have won just 1 of their 12 Premier League meetings, with Spurs losing 8 of them. That win came at Vicarage Road in September of last year when we were going through that really horrible run of form. Since beating Arsenal 2-1 in January 2017, Watford have lost 16 consecutive Premier League away games against the Big Six opponents. This is really surprising, conceding 53 in those games. That's conceding 53 goals in 16 games away to the Big Six is a really, really, really worrying stat for Watford, but one that should really encourage us to push on and improve our goal difference in this game. Really go out and, like we did against Palace, blitz them in the first half, and we can relax a bit in the second and prepare for that game against Red Star on Tuesday. And finally, Tottenham have lost 5 of their last 33 Premier League meetings, with sides starting the day bottom of the table, winning 23 of those. All 5 of those defeats have been against teams beginning with W, West Ham, Wigan and 3 times against West Brom. So maybe that is an omen for Watford to come and get 3 points from this one, but I wouldn't I wouldn't be reading too much into that one. But look, it's going to be an interesting game. I think Watford will come knowing that Tottenham, obviously we're not at our strongest and that we may potentially be there for the taking, but they will also have to have a massive air of precaution as well, because they're coming up against players who are, miles better than the ones that they have in their ranks. And the lineup that Pochettino picks is going to have a massive effect in this game. But if he does start players like Lucas and Lamela, there's going to be a buzz around the stadium, because we enjoy seeing these players on the pitch. We know the quality that Eriksen and Ali possess, but it's just been so long since we've seen it that, when their name comes out in the team sheet, immediately we're frustrated, and immediately there's going to be a kind of a bad feeling around the stadium, because these aren't the players that we want to see on the pitch right now. We need players giving 110%, and that is Lucas and Lamela and Son, and they have end product as well. It's not just that they do sprint after every single ball. They have end product. Son can score, Lucas can score and assist, and even Lamela has added a bit to his game this season. So this lineup is going to be really, really important. And if we start this game quickly, I wouldn't even say getting an early goal, but just starting positively, getting on the front foot straight away, a bit like we did against Bayern Munich, but obviously then maintaining it for longer. Get the fans up, get them excited, get them behind the team, because there's nothing to kind of get the fans going outside of any real quality in the pitch, because the feeling around the club at the moment isn't the best, and around the fan base there's a lot of people getting frustrated. Everyone in the fan base seems to be either Poch out or Levy out or both, and we need these performances on the pitch to turn that around. While there is this unhappy stuff going on off the pitch, we need to kind of overshadow that with these good performances on the pitch, and hopefully the team can come up with the goods tomorrow and we can get to 3 points, because you'd imagine at home to the team bottom of the table, haven't won a game yet this season, this is without a shadow of a doubt a game that you should be winning. And if we don't, there'll have to be real questions asked about the team, about the manager, about the board, whatever it is. This is a game that absolutely has to be won, and I personally think we will get it over the line. I think maybe a 2 or 3-0 victory, but with Tottenham you never know. Don't forget to leave down in the comments below your opinions on this game, your predicted lineups and your predictions for the scoreline and stuff as well. For anyone who does get the scoreline right, I'll be shouting you out in my preview for the Red Star Belgrade game on Monday, so make sure to get them down in the comments below. If you are new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please don't forget to do that, and click the thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.